Damn, I'm good.
Perfect.
Winner, winner, Sheen dinner.
Prove me wrong, and that'd be great.
Hello, welcome back to A Boring Revolution, your number one news source for everything in regards to The Boring Company. So, today's episode is going to be a nice short episode, hopefully around 10 minutes in length. We're going to talk about a new project that has started for The Boring Company. This has come before phase 2B of the Resorts World perfect, well, not quite perfect, but it's more like an oval shaped system. A little bit of a surprise to me, but the Westgate Casino is actually one of the most important projects on the entire Las Vegas project. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to take it as a separate project, but technically it's part of the overall loop, which I will show you in a short while. So if you don't know, this is the Westgate Hotel. Looks quite big. Looks a little bit old and dated, but it's still probably quite a nice hotel inside. Certainly got the vast spaces that you expect from a Las Vegas hotel and casino. It looks very nice. It's got access to the monorail, and soon it'll have access to the Las Vegas Loop system, including some connections to surrounding hotels and the convention center. If you remember our last video, there were essentially 4 sites that we're really laser focused on at this very moment in time, establishing or trying to establish what the Boring Company is doing in these various places at any one time, following the plans that we have now. So everything's working out brilliantly because we actually have plans for every single one of these locations, A, B, C, and D. For this video, let's forget D and A because they're not relevant, and let's look at Site B, which is where Riviera Station is, and Site C, where the Westgate Station is. If you want to do so, please pause the video and have a look around, because this is Google Maps essentially, and there's a few interesting things going on. This is essentially the connection. Obviously, it's not in a perfect straight line like this, and I'll show you why that is. As you can see, we actually have a really excellent plan that shows the alignment for this route going from the Riviera Station to the Westgate Hotel and Casino. What's even better than we've previously seen is that we actually have the radius of various parts of this alignment. It is marked out on there. I can't quite see it because my eyes are not the best, but I am sure I'll pull it up on a future video and show you exactly what they are. But essentially, we have the Riviera Station there, and we have our major station here. This is going to be connected up to another tunnel as well, not just the Riviera Station. There's going to be connections to other places, which makes this a very, very important site, not just for the Boring Company, but for the Westgate Hotel and Casino, because ultimately this is going to pull in a lot of people, as punters, as I like to say, into this area. Lots of additional revenue for the hotel, and they're going to do very well from this. And it's quite a simple project. Look at very, very nice straight line for most of the routes. The only difficult bit is this area here near the Riviera Station, but even that really for the Boring Company should be fairly easy to do, and they have the conveyor belt system to manage that now. So as you can see, 1,947 feet long, which is around 594 meters. I believe I rounded that up. What else is there to show you on here? Not really too much. All this area here, by the way, is actually mostly below ground. So that's nice, neat kind of node for the Boring Company to play around with. Here are the updated plans. I have previously showed you this, but it has actually changed. This area down here has some additional arterial tunnels and some additional switchbacks, and it's all very nice and neat now. Like they've refined the design, and they've obviously sat down with the various regulators and come up with a more efficient way of turning vehicles around or splitting vehicles from the various hotels onto the system. So it's a good look. So if you want to look for the Westgate Hotel, it's here. As you can see, it sits at this kind of neat, kind of folded Y-shaped part of the network. So as you can see, you can go from the Westgate over to the Riviera station. I put this as LVCC North Station, which is now the Riviera. I assume they're going to keep it as the Riviera, but who knows? And then you can go on to Resorts World directly from that node there. You can also go down to the West Station at the conference center. There's also this interesting part here, shaped a bit like a banana, and that connects up to the central hall, central station, and obviously you can go from there onto the South Station. So that part of the system we don't have plans for yet, so it'd be interesting to see how they do that exactly. It looks like they merge into the existing tunnel before going into the kind of below ground shaft there that's got our escalators and our various bays for parking. So that'd be interesting to see how they do that. But for the purpose of this video, I wanted to tell you about this site as well. It's called 2601 South Las Vegas Boulevard. I've only just found out today that used to be a place called Wet and Wild, which was a very fun-looking water park, but apparently it closed down about 15 years ago. I did see some reports that it did reopen, but I think it's largely been closed. And that site is essentially prime retail site and will be developed into a very, very large hotel, potentially the largest hotel in Las Vegas at some point. So that connection there that goes through the Westgate is ultimately going to be a very, very busy connection, and that's why the station at Westgate and the monorail needs to be all set up at an extremely large scale compared to the rest of the system. Anyway, what else do we know before we conclude this video? Key stats: the pathway for this particular tunnel goes from Riviera Station at the north of the conference center to the Westgate Hotel and Casino. The length of the tunnel itself, there might be a bit added on top of this for surface running, so it could be closer to 640, 630 meters. But the actual tunnel element, so the bit that kind of is the most costly to the Boeing company, is 594 meters, 1,985 feet for my American colleagues. Approximate cost is, this is more of a shot in the dark, but this includes the work at Riviera Station as well. Ultimately, there's a lot of work there to do the below grade kind of excavation and supports there. So that we're looking at around $5 to $6 million. Then you might say that seems a little bit high, Will, but I'm including that cost at the Riviera Station. Ultimately, there's a lot of concrete to be poured in that area. There's a lot of precast concrete panels. There's a lot of supports, props, both permanent and temporary. So it all adds up. A lot of spoil to excavate as well, which is certainly a costly item. $5 to $6 million is my estimate. That's not something I've seen. I'm just pulling that number out of my brain based on what I'm seeing and kind of other projects as well, and trying to kind of average it out. What TBM will be used on this project? It'll just be one TBM, I believe. Remember, there are going to be two tunnels as well, but we're just pricing for the one tunnel for the $5 to $6 million on this particular one. Ultimately, if they added another tunnel, that could be anywhere from $3 to $4 million. But we'll see what happens with that. So that's Prufrock 2, and this is one tunnel. I probably should have costed that for two tunnels, actually. Sorry guys. I should have costed that for two tunnels. I've just pulled it off that drawing that I had, and it shows one tunnel, so I've just gone for one. But there are actually plans for two tunnels in that area, going to the Westgate Hotel and Casino. Finish date I have for the single tunnel, for the one tunnel, and all the station work, and ultimately all the parking bays at the Westgate. You're looking at having all that finished and kind of operational by the end of July of this year, but as you know, it might sort of fold into August, as it were. As per usual, I've updated my quarterly report to factor in this particular project, although technically, it is part of the Las Vegas Loop project. But for the interest of kind of educating you guys, I've included it as its own separate element, and I might reduce that cost from this overall, so it kind of adds up. I will do a quarterly report. I might do a live quarterly report on Friday, actually, because I'm thinking about just getting out of the way, and hopefully you guys can ask me some interesting questions, and then I can answer them in an interesting way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you want to continue supporting this channel. If you've not already done so, please like the video and subscribe. Hit that bell icon, and then you know when my videos come out, and you can follow along as and when I post them. Comment on the video as well. Tell me what you like about this project, what the Boeing company should do differently. Have you ever been to Wet and Wild in Las Vegas? What was it like? What's that site like now? Is it derelict? Are the water park facilities still there? Tell me what you know. I'm available as well if you'd like to follow me on Twitter. We have a Discord server which is full of really useful information, especially now, and consider supporting me on Patreon for just $2 if you would be so kind as to do so. Patrons, as per usual, thank you very, very much. This whole entire studio setup, including the new addition to our studio, has been paid for by your donations. As you can see, it's hung on the wall behind me, and hopefully you guys are going to continue supporting me. Thank you very much. And remember, guys, don't be boring. Take care, look after yourself, and I'll see you on the next video. Good night.
Come get some.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.